The winner will make it into the top 8. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is Huffaluffagus, seed number 7 in this tournament, qualified in with a 1.5 million average of 3. From the United States with a PB of 4.89 million. That's good for about 15th on the overall PB leaderboard. And ranked number 17 in the most recent Premier poll, a 2-time CTM Masters event winner back in September of 2022 and November of 23. Was in the top 8 of Mega Masters last year, is trying to do the same thing and maybe more this year. Was a runner-up in CTWC in the second online year of 2021. That was against Dog playing Tetris in those finals. Was also in the top 4 the year previous and in the top 8 in 2022 and 2023 and top 16 last year. He's won the WPL Columbus event a couple of times and is known for going around the various regionals and playing in them. So there is Huffaluffagus on the left. On the right, Cobra, who's at 142 right now, and Huff is at 141. So far, just about tied in lines and score. Cobra qualified in with a 1.46 million. Has a 4.66 million PB registered in the Classic Tetris bot PB command. Ranked number 15 in the most recent Premier poll, so that's 2 spots ahead of Huff, actually. Is a former Challenger Circuit winner, won the very last, as far as we know, Challenger Circuit. That was in November 2024. Was top 4 in Lone Star last year. And played in CTWC Gold in 2024. 258 for Cobra, 240 for Huffaluffagus. Huff also took part in the ESTWBBWC in 2021. We're hoping that he's in playing shape in time for our ESWT BBWC 2022 in October 2025. 319 for Huff, 351 for Cobra. The wind is really picking up outside. I mean, it is insane. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. Maybe the music is masking a little bit, but it is very windy. 403 for Cobra, 410 for Huffaluffagus here in CTM Mega Masters, our annual championship for Classic Tetris Monthly. Of course, we have tournaments nearly every single month, except for those months when I'm like, I'm too tired, I'm too wiped, I can't do it. This is our annual championship. We double the size of the bracket from 32 to 64, although in past years, the bracket, the main Masters event bracket was 16. And we quadrupled it. And now the double size bracket, man, we should double it again. We should just go to all the way to 128. Everybody is in. 496 for Cobra, 484 for Huffaluffagus. I don't know if the weather is bad. It wasn't bad earlier. I walked to the little corner store to get my Coke Zero orange cream, and it was fine. $5.65 for Cobra, $5.30 for Huffaluffagus. This is a best of 5, so the player with the 3 next to their name, that will be who wins. And by the way, I must have missed some contributions to the prize pool. I'm not sure why they're not. They seem not to be spawning on the top right. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe this is why. Hold on. But we had some. I think I had something turned off here. But let me go ahead and call out those people who have recently contributed, because we are up to $13,149.83. And one of those was Silver Sauce with the 1401. I think Silver Sauce must have gotten us up to a funny number, because the only comment was LOL. But then Tecate came in with a $270.27 contribution. 270.27. I'm sorry I missed that earlier, Tecate, but that is huge. Thank you very much. It's going to get us over the hump to $13,149.83. It's very generous. Appreciate that. If you're still here. And again, sorry that I missed it. I think I had one of the browser sources for the alerts turned off. I don't know why. 723 for Huffaluffagus, who is going to get set up on the left well. Tetris for Huff, 752. Cobra, 786. Oh, 27. Because you're all about 27. Well, thank you for that. Folks, if you have like a number that is in your screen name or you're associated with, it's really on you to contribute that amount to the prize pool. It's like mandatory. Tecate knew it implicitly. 801 for Huff, 883 for Cobra. So O contributes 0. Yeah, so O is on point. Already complying to the new rule. Tetris for Huff, column 4. He's getting set up again in that column 4. He might be there for a while. We'll see. There's another Tetris into column 4, 872 for Huff. Cobra with a Tetris, 951. Cobra is ahead and also behind in Lions. That's right. Cobra needs to contribute $6,731 to the prize pool. Sorry, buddy. All right, get in there. You're all like, oh, haha, I'm going to give 4. Give it. Get in there. $9.29 for Huff, $8.23 for Cobra. That's right. Fractal with the 161. It's all mandatory. It's part of the terms and conditions of this channel. You didn't see that? $9.37 Huff, $8.65 for Cobra. Cobra is set up again. There's another Tetris. You could potentially get one more between now and 29. Huff is into 29 at $9.50. He's burning all this down. Cobra is in. He's at B40. And Cobra right now with about 180,000 point lead. That's right. Eyeball has to contribute his actual eye. Sorry, Eyeball. Tetris for Cobra, B95. I think that was one for Huff, 989. Let's see what Huff's going to do here. He is getting... Well, he's bringing this down. He's waiting for bar on the right. He's going to get it. That's a triple AO6. Cobra's left side. That's going to be cut off. That's a top out at C42 for Cobra. So here we go. Huff in a chase down needs to get to C42. There's a Tetris. This would be over a 200,000 point chase down. Huff with a lot of tournament experience. Huff just going to take that easy triple. Well, you know, the board's complicated. He's going to just, you know, take the triples, but also set up for those Tetrises when he can. There's a bar Tetris for Huff, B67. He's setting up again. He's going to take this as a skim. Tetris for Huff, C17. He's within one Tetris, really. But he does not really have to necessarily get it by way of the Tetris, or yeah, he can get doubles here. And that is going to do it. Huff is going to take game number one in a Chasedown of over 200,000 points. So, wow. Making it look easy. See, I've already given Dan V his title for the edited version. Just said, making it look easy, exclamation point. That's a typical Dan V title. If we beat the 2023 Mega Masters prize pool, we will pay the top 32. That is the top half of the tournament. That means everybody you're watching from here on in would get into the prize pool. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, Cobra with those 19 push-down points early on. Should they be needed, they are there now. Oh, the Vits for Cobra. It is hard to feel confident, really, with any lead. If you've topped out with any lead against a player like Huff, really an endurance specialist in a lot of ways, but can also turn it up and get those Tetrises when needed. Laurie, you are a mod in the chat, but you do not have to show up to every chat or, you know, or every stream and you know, keep an eye on things like a hawk. You know, that's fine. If you're here, you are invited to take moderator actions, but you do not have any obligation at all. Thank you, Laurie. Laurie is like a sentinel out there. Just now, she's got all these powers. He's like, all right, I'm keeping watch. I gotcha. Can someone explain the stencil meme? I don't get it. Well, the stencil is a little graphic that we have players align their game captures to, and that allows us to, you know, that allows us to line up very easily our streaming scenes, and it's like standardized across pretty much the entire Tetris scene. And so, you know, it does require you to be within a pixel or two. But once you get it set up, like, you never have to do it again. But some players are like notoriously off stencil. So I don't know exactly what you mean by meme, but that is why it is sometimes humorous, where these players who are excelling, like world class at a game of pattern recognition and, you know, fine visual acuity, are unable to like line up their Tetris screen with the stencil. Vandy explaining memes. 330 for Cobra, 295 for Huffaluffagus. Oh, meme is here. Being off by a pixel or two would trigger you too bad. I mean, Okay, Dirty Tetris here for Huff. He's actually got another one set up. See if he's going to set up for it. Yeah, he's set up for another one, but has another one sort of just buried there. Yeah, let's see what Huff's going to do. He's going to... Okay, yeah, he wants to just take that all in one fell swoop. All right, column 4 again for Huff. Shen is here. Zafida is here. P.S. Daniel, Dr. Jules, Tecate, Afville, meme of all time. Hanging out. Andrew Meep. Oh, sticking around. See what happens. Fancy Meme, Harold, Deck. All the stars are here. Ace Hardcastle, Serial Numbers, Zuli, Fargons, Rogue Potato, Jazzy Josh, S-Day, Hazel, Projective, Moodus, Arbaro. All the stars are here. 426 for Huffaluffagus, 496 for Cobra. Oh, Tetris is here as well. Wallbant. Sonic Clang is on YouTube and Twitch. That's right, we're doing shoutouts. You know, you got to fill up level 18 with something, and I've already talked about fast food. I've talked about what else, you know. There's a bunch of safe topics which are fine. Does Nestors.org work with the stencil? Not at this time. No, we're not. At least in this tournament, we're not putting... Nestors.org is not being used for our tournaments. Somebody may. In which case, though, you don't even need to. It's already lined up, like, perfectly on its own. But then again, you might want to, like, put player cams on the screen with it. Anyway, both players are into and beyond 19 now, into 20. 667 for Cobra, 543 for Huffaluffagus. We haven't talked about pizza yet this stream. Well, you don't want to drive Giovanni away. He will leave. Simul Tetris 694, Cobra 570 for Huffaluffagus. Let's see, what are the other topics? You know, stuff that Tetris eats or doesn't eat. The tortoise. There's a lot of topics. $7.79 for Cobra, $7.08 for Huffaluffagus. Ravioli says, I will petition for mod. Well, see, that is the secret of mod right there, right? Jay in the window there. They're back now. 183.50. Jay in the window. With that 183.50 contribution to the prize pool, that's going to get us to $13,333.33. Thank you, Jay in the window. Appreciate that. Now, see, if you want to petition for mod, that means you aren't ready, right? It's only when you don't want it that you are qualified. It's like George Washington, right? He did not want power, and that is why he was qualified to have it. 864 for Huffaluffagus, 920 for Cobra. Yeah, you got to donate to get cool numbers. Am I a beer snob? No. I'm not even really a beer enjoyer too much. I mean, I've had some, but I don't really foresee a time when I would ever drink another one, to be honest. I just don't see what it adds. Sue is a beer enthusiast. I would say a beer enthusiast. Sue likes the beers and trying different ones and, you know, swirling the glass around and, you know. She's got the Untapped app, so I guess that counts. 978 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris Huff A17 and another one A53 into 29. Cobra at A68, 7 lines still till 29. There's one Tetris for Cobra. And there is another. He's into 29 at B39. Yeah, I've never been a big alcohol drinker. And I don't know. I just, I mean, you guys hear me on these streams. I'm already like out of it half the time. So imagine me with like even less control over what I'm saying and doing. That wouldn't be good. B77 for Cobra, B74 for Huff. It's close now in score at least. Huff is ahead by about 11 lines. Vandy, do you have any advice after taking a large pay cut? I have experience, but I will talk about it. Ask me again in a bit. Not on 29. Oh no, Huff's left side is going to be cut off. And that means Cobra is going to take game number 2. So Cobra, you are good. Vandy, after a couple Trappist ales, 50% more pizza chat at least. It was once a best of 5, now best of 3 between Huff and Cobra. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Pine Cutie giving the definition of the word decal. Now, guys, do you have an opinion? Here's one thing we've never talked about. Do you have an opinion of books with deckled edges? What do you think of books with deckled edges? And Tetris says, I haven't read a book in a lot of years. You don't want to grow up to be like Kingsman, do you? Read a book. Cobra setting up the delayed vit, gets the long bar to fill it in. Big Pile Guam says, I dislike them. Describe deckled edges, please. Oh, man. See, it's something people don't know about. But as soon as I describe it, they're going to have opinions on it. So it's a whole new thing to get outraged about, which is perfect. The deckled edge, right? You know how you get most books and they just have a smooth edge of the pages, like the lengthwise longest edge of the actual pages. Well, deckled is when they are uneven, like rough cut, uneven pages. Yes, non-uniform edges. All right, now what are your opinions? All right, somebody also asked advice for if you take a pay cut. I mean, you just have to cut everything. But honestly, the best advice is really you should always be prepared for taking a pay cut, and you should just generally. Now, this is like ex post facto for you. This is not going to be very useful overall, but it's good advice for everyone else. You should always aspire to, if you can, live on way less than you make, like a significant percentage less. Now, that's not always possible. Not always possible at any given time. But that way, when you do have that, kind of thing happen, you will be prepared. Now, if it just happens to you, you just have to cut down everything. Like, you really have to cut down everything. It also helps, by the way, not to have any debt payments in advance. Again, this is all like stuff. This is closing the barn door after the horse got out, but to prepare you for next time. But yeah, you have to cut way down on everything. Like, you really have to have no extra things and do as many free things as possible. But that's really something you have to just be generally prepared to do. $2.95 for Huffaluffagus. why it was so easy for me to do CTM is because I was living on like 20% of my income. And now I have, 20% of my, well, actually less than that of my previous income, but it makes it easy for me to rapidly, kind of ratchet down my lifestyle. In fact, my lifestyle is pretty much the same. I just have no savings and no ability to do anything extra ever, but that's fine. And then you just have to take, you have to be out there looking for whatever work you can get. 410 Huffaluffagus, 370 for Cobra. You have to just go out and try to earn whatever you can while you look for the real job that you want, and you've got to be applying for something better. Now the pay cut, you may want to take a new, start looking for a new position if that's how it's going to be. But you should always be applying, by the way. You should at least go on, you should be recreationally interviewing a couple times a year. That'll give yourself options. 505 for Huffaluffagus. It'll also give you the sense of control over yourself and your career. Because you're I've been to interviews. I know what I'm worth. I know what's out there, what I can get. And you might even take one of the jobs. 470 for Cobra, 528 for Huffaluffagus. But yeah, you might, if you are living, above your means and then you get a pay cut, you're going to have to cut expenses and bring in more income. Two sides of that equation. What's coming in and what's going out. And you have to rebalance that equation. So you might have to take a second job temporarily. 576 for Huffaluffagus, 518 for Cobra. We are approaching 29. Huff is in at 601. You got laid off. That's rough. Yeah, that happened to me once, and it was gonna happen to me, and I just chose not to wait for it to happen. 527 for Cobra. He's got 5 lines above that well. He needs to bring it down. He's getting it down. Those bars are getting to the left too. That's gonna help him dig all this out, but now he's LJ dependent in a couple of columns. He takes care of it. A triple down into a Tetris. So Cobra with the survival and the down stacking. He's back by about 160,000 points, though. It really helps if you have no payments and and very low expenses, just generally in life. Don't get a car payment. You don't need to. Anyway, that is enough for that. We're on level 19 now. Tetris Huff 790, 604 for Cobra. But yeah, you gotta rebalance that equation very quick. If you're laid off, and you don't have it, you gotta find anything. Literally go work at a grocery store or whatever. 676 Cobra, 856 Huffaluffagus. Do people still say Roffle, ROFL? No, I don't think anyone said that since the late 90s. Tetris Cobra 773, 928 for Huff. For me, I don't buy a car unless I could buy 2 of the car, right? I'll buy a car and then I want to also have the amount of money in the bank that I could literally roll that car into a river and just buy the same car the next day. It's not always possible, but I'm always aspiring to get to that point. And then, then you don't worry too much about it. And plus your insurance goes down because you can basically self-insure. You know, if you smack the car up, then you just go buy another one. So like my current car, like $5,000. $951 for Cobra, B04 for Huff. All right, Cobra is into 29. Okay, Cobra trying to bring this down. That's a triple, so he's going to try to bring it down to the bottom to reestablish a Tetris well. Huff is way ahead right now by about 170,000 points. Chasedownable, though. We've seen Huff do that once in this match. Could be Cobra's turn to try to do that should something happen on Huff's side. But Huff here very comfortable, you know, just kind of being ahead. He's actually set up for a Tetris now, though. Oh, no. As soon as he gets into a Tetris, he's in trouble. Oh, there's a long bar, gets over. Let's see what Huff can do to eke out some more points. All right, C23 for Huff. Chasedown for Cobra. He's basically got to flip the script on Huff. Tetris for Cobra. He's 90,000 points or so away. Not easy necessarily even today to chase things down. Cobra, though. Long bar to the left. That's a Tetris, so he's now within one. He's got plenty of time. 30 lines is, you know, you can single and double this out right to the end. We saw that. What was that match today? Was it Cole? It really just engineered a perfect chase down, like all the way ending at 329 lines. And that can be done here. And Cobra knows it. And Cobra is good. So Cobra gonna take game 3 and go up 2-1. Man, I remember, you know, early days when I had to chase something down. It was so nerve-wracking. These players, totally unflappable. Meanwhile, I was and continue to be flappable. 3-2-1 Tetris. Keep doing it during 29. It made Huff die? Oh, no. I don't think so. Huff was fine. So either this game or next game, we will know who our next top 8 finisher is. And we have more Tetris tomorrow. 2 more streams. One of them is just one match. That's going to be a purple top 32 match between Tetris Time and Sidnev. That's happening tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central, 1800 UTC. Then there's a 6 p.m. Central stream at 23 UTC. It's the orange and maroon top 32. That's going to involve Dog, Wallbant, Hydrant, and Miles. And then 2 more on Saturday as well. The best financial advice I can give is do not become a full-time Tetris tournament streamer. That is probably the best thing I can give you. Don't do that. Well, it's enormously rewarding. The rewards are all spiritual. But really, honestly, it's all that financial advice before that is enabling me to do this right now because, you know, I was able to build up a little bit of savings. So I could take some time and, you know, whatever, try something out. 221 for Cobra, 233 for Huffaluffagus. By the way, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you know, where you get like your free Prime shipping and all that kind of stuff, you also get a Twitch Prime gaming subscription because, you know, Amazon owns Twitch. So that is one of your benefits as an Amazon Prime member. You get to gift, or not give, you get to give a subscription or subscribe to the to the Twitch channel of your choice every single month. You get all the emotes and everything, and it's no extra cost to you, but it does give a little bit of a financial boost to the streamer. You don't have to do us every time, but, you know, keep us in the mix because that benefit, you can't stack that. You can't save those up. Use it or lose it every single month. Oh, Tiny Speakas says, is rice topped off with soy sauce, salt, and egg a good meal? Depends on what your goals are. Sounds good. I don't really eat soy sauce or rice nowadays, but, you know, if you're trying to save money, that can be pretty cheap. Soy sauce and salt sounds excessive. You got to get those electrolytes, man. I would probably go for the sriracha instead of the soy sauce, but $380 for Cobra, $470 for Huff. What food is this for? I don't think it's for a food. I think that's just he's asking, is this a meal? It's Tony. All right. Thanks, Tony. I mean, you'll definitely save money. I mean, unless you develop pellagra or whatever, but you can worry about that when the time comes. 408 for Cobra. No, you won't. The eggs are very nutrient dense. The eggs are very good. 547 for Huff. 410 for Cobra. You save money by not tipping at the counter. I can't blame you. Like, I can't blame you. You know, there's a lot of people that sort of, you know, tipping culture, they make their living off their tips. But on the other hand, it's like, I'd rather they just build it into the price. $474 for Cobra. I mean, I do tip at counters just because, I don't know. I just choose to do that, but I can't blame anybody who doesn't and who's fed up with it. $639 for Huffaluffagus on 19. $478 for Cobra. He's set up in column 2, but now he's got to sort of build on top of it. And that's why column 2 is such a difficult well, because it's kind of hard to keep it uncovered. But he's going to bring it down. 511 for Cobra, 717 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris Cobra, 540, 771 Huffaluffagus. I mean, I generally, like, you know, I tip everybody just because, like, I'm standing there at the counter and the person's looking and they're all probably about to prepare my food. And if I don't tip, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. But I definitely tip when they have to do some kind of work, right? Like bartender, you know, if I drank, or like a barista. You know, they have to do some work to prepare the thing. Not that, you know, grabbing the thing off the shelf and giving to me isn't work. But I don't know. It's complicated. $658 for Cobra, $893 for Huff. You could do the thing where you pay cash, and then when, like, you know, the person turns around to do the thing, you kind of jostle the tip jar so it sounds like you put something in there, but you really didn't. You could do that. Tetris for Cobra 810, $9.96 for Huffaluffagus. If you really don't want to tip, but you don't want to get all judged for it. Yeah, well, that's a big life hack. A33 for Huff, he's on level 26. 879 for Cobra, he's on 26. It is depraved. I agree, it is. Of course, I'm joking. Tetris Huff B12, 946 for Cobra. But look, just because someone asks for a tip does not mean that you are obligated to give it. You have no obligation on a lot of things. You really don't. Just like on this stream, like as much as I would love for you to support the channel, nobody has any obligation to do it. All right, Cobra's board climbing. And just 2 lines away from 29. This is going to be tough. There's a dirty Tetris Cobra. Can he bring this down? And Huffaluffagus is equally in trouble, but he's going to get a dirty Tetris. That left well for Cobra is cut off, and he's going to top at A60. And Cobra Huff is good in game number 4. So Huff is going to tie it up, and we are going to a decider. Both players ready. Decider time. The winner goes to the top 8 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, fancy meme with the 3-bit rattling the tip jar. Zafada with the 69 bits. Jay in the window with the 600 countdown bits. 300, 200, 100. Wait, Duffel House. What is that? That's a reference to something. What is that? I know what that is. Joan's dream name. Joan. Joan? That's right. Jonas's dream. Oh, yeah. Jonas's dream name. That's right. Duffel House. Oh, my God. Barrett, that goes way back. I remember that. That is so far back. That's crazy. Duffel House. Oh, man. Cobra's board here climbing, but he's going to bring it down with a couple of deep clears here, triples and doubles and whatever, way up top. Now just wants to clean out the rest of this. There's a beautiful long bar for a Tetris into column 2, way up top. Like 8+ rows off the bottom. An upper, yeah, that was an upper decker. Oh my God. See, it's fun to have Barrett around because Barrett goes way, way back. An upper decker. That is not the good name to call that. Don't call the dirty Tetris the upper decker. Well, that was Trey Harrison's name for a dirty Tetris. Like before, so dirty Tetris I think was coined by Jonas or Heather, right? Or it's hard to know who did what, but by those two. But Trey used to call them upper deckers, which has another name in the Urban Dictionary. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you. And have a nice day. 243 for Duff. I literally was about to actually say Duff, but then I just ironically said Duff. 263 for Cobra. By the way, thank you, Cousin Avi. You gifted a tier 1 sub to Meme, and I appreciate that. And there are probably some other bits in there that I might have missed during the rattling of the tip jar. moment. Do Twitch donations go to the prize pool? They do not. The prize pool is 100%, handled by Matcherino. So if you want to contribute to the prize pool, go to exclamation point Matcherino. Use that command in the chat, or you can go to ctm.gg/Matcherino. Vandy, I feel like you were playing that line on a soundboard at this point. It sounds too perfect. I'm getting there, but there are times when I don't have the energy to do it 100% perfectly. $384 for Cobra, $404 for Huffaluffagus. The trigger is the music. That is right, Hunterage. Right. Because that, I don't know, is that still at the end of the videos? I don't even know what Dan V is doing, if he's still putting that at the end or not. I don't usually watch that far. I usually, I'll usually turn them on. Like, we have this nightly ritual where we do a little YouTube on the TV, on the couch, watch a couple of favorite channels. And then I'll check in, like if a CTM comes across my subscriptions, I'll check in, see if I sound like an idiot. I'll confirm that I do, and I'll go read the comments and see if anybody called me out for being an idiot. They usually don't, because we ban them. No, we don't. 501 for Huff, 463. But I don't really watch all the way through anymore, so I don't know if Dan V is putting in that little bit at the end or not, but that's what Pumpy used to do. I don't look up anything in the Urban Dictionary, Travis, ever. You're not going to find something about Care Bears in there. It's always going to be gross. Don't ever look anything up. Just be blissfully ignorant. 516 for Huffaluffagus, 519 for Cobra. And we are into 19. Huff at 562, Cobra at 543. It is very close, within one Tetris of each other. So this match has been very even so far. Both players with pretty healthy chasedowns. Huffaluffagus, Tetris, Cobra, Tetris 624. Siler with the 3 months sub at tier 1. Thank you, Siler. Appreciate that. 3 months in advance. Vandy, do you know who joined cubing before Tetris? Do I know who joined cubing? Joined, how do you, I don't know what that means. Who was a cuber before they were in the Tetris scene? I mean, Laser Monkey and, a lot of people, I guess. I think a lot of people. You. Oh, I see. All right. Well, of course it's you. Random stuff of me. I've never heard you talk about anyone else except for yourself, really. All right, there's a dirty Tetris. Cobra, one row off the bottom, column 10. 746 for Cobra, 790 for Huffaluffagus. Joseph Frombaugh on YouTube says, any good fire alarms lately? No fire alarms since the last one. They used to be like once or twice a week under the old management. But now I think we've maybe had one, maybe two since the new management. So pretty good. 888 for Huffaluffagus, 844 for Cobra. There's Cobra with a long bar into that long bar dependency, opens up that right side. The bar comes, he gets a Tetris, 879. Apart from Tetris, what other games did you grow up with, Vandy? What other games? I mean, I don't know. I was more of a play outside kid, but I did, once I got that NES, I mean, I did have games that I liked. Zelda. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was probably my favorite. I was the only kid that I knew that had beat Mike Tyson at all. I tried to teach my friends to do it, but I couldn't handle it. Cobra is into 19. This is going to be a really tough transition. Needs a bar over. That's going to be a top out for Cobra at 920. That transition into 29, I don't think, maybe I said 19, but into 29 was really rough. And he had that dependency there. I wonder if that 29 transition snuck up on him. But Huffaluffagus is going to take this one and move on to the top 8. So Cobra with a great overall match, but that last moment was pretty shocking. I think it kind of snuck up on him. So Huff is good and will be moving on. Huffaluffagus, you are going to the top 8. Wow. All right, Huff about to top out. There you are. You're topping out, right? No, he's not topping out. He's never going to top out. No, he's bringing it down. Of course he is. Title says top 32, by the way. Yeah, well, this is the top 32 and top 16. So the first matches in this stream were the top 32. So there you go. Huffaluffagus, a top 8 finisher. GG's to you, Huff. He's throwing his controller at the camera. A top 8 finisher. Wow, what a match. I mean, that was crazy. Either one of these players could have made it in. But, yeah, welcome to the top 8, Huffaluffagus. Let me go ahead and report. Oh, the thumbs of a champion right there. Hey, everybody. This is your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. And I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.